It's a good football team. They're playing at a high level. We know we're going to get everybody's best.
On the road, it'll be a tough environment. It'll be a tough game to win, but we'll be geared up and ready.
Mayfield gonna go down. Sack. Aiden Hutchinson got him again. Off takes the snap, throws. It is caught. Amon-Ra with the first down. Mayfield looking, picked off. Ryan Branch up to make the grab.
Really good.
Not us, but hey, we getting there, man. We getting there.
Yeah. John effing Lord. Sean must be saying Michigan got lucky.
Nope. Absolutely not. I hate that statement. You never, ever... Come on, don't throw that at me. You're all the people that sat back and called D'Antonio lucky, even in a year where he beat everybody by double digits. Go to hell with that stuff. No. You know what I've said for years, Neil? You can vouch for this. You never, ever apologize for a win. Ever.
No.
Sorry, I'm consistent with that. You never apologize for a win. They found a way against USC. Period. End of story. That's it.
No, absolutely. But it is a Lions pregame show, and everybody says it's all good now. So here we are.
Good.
As always, we have Pete Spivak in the building. We got JB Smoove, Mr. Elite here himself. Chase is hanging around also. We're locked. We're loaded. We're ready to break this thing down. As always, our Lions pregame show brought to you by New Holland Brewing Company, one of the legendary companies in Michigan, and in particular, the Dutch Taller Long Drink, everybody. You guys, these things are magical. I know there's some in the building somewhere. May or may not end with one or two.
I was told...
I'm going to go check the back room.
Yeah, I was told there were going to be a few here. That's what I was told, but we'll find that out. Hopefully, Pete, he's got his PI hat on right now, and he's trying to find those for us. But those things are money if you haven't tried them yet. Seriously, I think I can vouch for you, Neil. Fully endorsed. They are just rock solid.
So good.
No, absolutely. And also, as well, big shout-out Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, Sabbath Coffee Roasters over there on East 14 Mile in Clawson. If you're bumping around, pull up. Give them a shot. Give them a shot over there. Get that coffee. You can take it home, put Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey in it if you want, if you are so motivated. No, but it is the Lions. It is the Cardinals. So, Sean, you know how we do it here. We're in studio, obviously, today due to the road game. What's the vibe, Sean? Lions, Cardinals, what's the vibes coming in?
I think a lot of people are feeling the same way that I'm feeling right now, Neil. This is one of those games. Listen, my jaw's not going to drop if they lose this game. It's not. Do I expect the Lions to win? Yeah, I expect them to bounce back. I think this is a team that has shown in this small window of time that they are going to bounce back from adversity. And if you follow the numbers, they have bounced back from adversity. But, however, one of the things that I'm a big fan of is never overlook the opposition. I think this is a pretty good Cardinals team. What they did last week to the Rams wasn't an accident. I think there are a lot of weapons on this team. I think the Lions are going to find a way to win this one. But, Neil, I'm going to say this all show long. You guys can get pissed at me. My jaw is not going to drop if the Lions lose this game.
This isn't going to make for good sports talk. because
here we go.
It's Sean. It's not, because that's where I am too. And because here's
Damn it!
come on, all right, Sean. Let's try it again. All right, this is well, I got people in the chat right here that are already saying that. Hey, Woodward Sports, this is a must-win. That comes from William. And William, I disagree with, look, every game's a must-win in the NFL. When you want to break it down, we want to get granular on it and go that route. Here's my vibes for the day. Week 3 of the NFL, I don't think people grasp the importance of Week 3 of the NFL. And look, I know you're going to say, well, you're saying one thing and being another. Week 3 can be a critical week in the NFL from this, because it charts your map. And the Lions are at a spot right now. They're 1-1. They lost a game they shouldn't have lost. On paper, they were over a touchdown favorite. They were at home. They should have won that football game. On paper, they should have. With that being said, now I will say this, while I'm not going to, because I don't do the sell hope and fear, which is probably something that I lack in this business, which, I don't know. We'll talk about that between us, Sean, later on. But the moral of the story is this. Lions sitting at 1-1 will chart their course. They can make things very difficult for themselves, or they can make things a lot easier for themselves today. I will give you that. Because when you look around this league right now, there are teams. Now, let me tell you where teams that do have must-wins. Baltimore. Indianapolis.
Cincinnati. Well, Cincinnati's just doing what Cincinnati does, right? They get in the 0-2 hole and they come bouncing back and they're dangerous. I mean, it's not a smart way to live. Breaking news.
There it
My
is.
guy, Pete.
Look at Pete.
Breaking news.
May or may not have solved this.
The New Holland has arrived. So there we go.
No,
absolutely.
Neil, listen, can I go here though? With all respect to the human being in the chat, I don't know who you are, that said this is must-win. We aren't at must-win time yet. We're not there yet. Relax. It's okay. Do we want to be 1-2? No. Hell no. Nobody wants to be 1-2. But if you're talking about must-win, put that in perspective with the rest of the division. You still have 2 games against all these guys, okay? You still have... Beat those guys. Win your division, get in the playoff. I'm sorry, Neil, I've been consistent with this for 6 months now, okay? I really don't care if the Lions roll up with that New York Giants type of 10-7 golly gee we got in the playoffs. I don't care. Because where the Lions are going to make their bread this year is in the postseason.
That's it.
Now they've been there. Now they've done that. So to roll up with that magnificent season... Like everybody else, of course I want them to go 13-4. I want the Lions to go 13-4. I want the Lions each and every week to show not just this fan base, who, whether we want to admit it or not, we still have a fragile psyche. We do. We all do. We've been torched by this team in a myriad of ways before. We still have a fragile psyche. But I want them to bake their bread in the playoff. That's where this team is going to eventually, right, whether or not this 2024 campaign was a successful one. Because let's be brutally honest, if the Lions go 12-5 and lose in the first round of the playoff, who out there is going to put their hand up and say, golly gee, that was a great season? No, the bar was raised, and that's a good thing. I welcome that. Come on, let's all wrap our arms around that. But that's where the bread's going to be made, man, is the postseason. So let's find a way to get in the postseason. I don't give 2 craps if they go full on 10-7 and then get hot and make their run to the Super Bowl. That's what counts. So, Neil, I'm not at that point yet. No way, no how. I'm not going to tell you how to think. I think you're out your mind, but I'm not at that point yet where I'm going to sit here and go, it's week 3. What if we lose to the Cardinals? Right. This season's over. I'm not there.
We're losing it.
I'm not there. No way.
Now, to be fair.
Big now.
To be fair, I will say this, Sean. You lose this football game, you're 1-2, and your boogeyman standing there coming in the building on next Monday night, which is the Seattle Seahawks, for whatever reason. Right. That's the Lions boogeyman.
It's
and
real.
That's fair.
It's
and that's
real,
fair.
too, yes.
And I will say this, Sean. If they lose today, 11-1 tomorrow, myself and my friend Sean Belesian will be here on Big D Energy. And I get to ask the question, Sean. I get to ask the question, and it's fair. You're 1-2. The Seahawks are coming in. Now you're talking must win. And if things go the way, if the offense sputters, the defense is going to be up against it a little bit. No Alex Anzalone, which we laughed and mocked and scorned Alex Anzalone. Like, I'm not going to do the Michigan fan thing where they're here today saying, suck my maize and blue nuts. We won. We beat USC.
Not all of us, Neil.
I'm not doing that. I'm not being like you guys on that.
Not
okay?
all of us, Neil.
I'll keep it consistent because I was like that about Alex Anzalone, like a lot of people were. And what did he do? He balled out here.
He did.
And it's going to be big to see what this defense does without him today. No one is given that its proper. That is the biggest storyline of the game to me, as far as the Lions are concerned. If you want to say, what are you worried about? What are you concerned about, Sean? To me, Alex Anzalone not being there is the biggest story of this football game for this team.
It's a huge factor.
No one's talking about it.
Can I please go back to the must-win narrative that some of you are just for a second, okay? Worst case scenario today, the Lions lose and fall to 1-2. And the Minnesota Vikings knock off the Houston Texans. The Vikings are 3-0. The Lions are 1-2. Are you honestly sitting there telling me, oh no, what are we to do? We'll never catch the Vikings. Like, stop. Like, deep breath. Nobody wants to be in that position. Don't get me wrong.
Well, Sean Byrne in the chat here says Vikings could win this division, go on one of their magical runs that they get every 10 years. But then they lose to the Lions in the NFC Championship game. So there's that.
I'm sorry, I don't live in perpetual fear of the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
I don't.
Sam Darnold
Oh,
was
no,
the
here
scariest.
comes Sam Darnold. Now, I'm saying this with respect. They got the best wide receiver in the game. I've been consistent about that for 2 years. I'll take Justin Jefferson over anybody. I will. But, I mean, you understand what I'm saying? How do you feel your chances are against the Minnesota Vikings, both at Ford Field and at that place? I kind of like the Lions' chances. I have a feeling that 2 head-to-head games would equalize that 2-game difference. Call me crazy, but I like the Lions' chances in both those games.
Absolutely. Mike G's going on about the Michigan thing. It's funny to me, real quick, on the
Shout out
Michigan
Mike
thing.
G.
Tickets for Michigan USC were cheaper than tickets for Michigan Minnesota yesterday. I screenshotted it. I have it. And it's funny. I gotta send this, and I will for the show on Tuesday. As soon as the game went final, I grabbed my phone because I knew the texts were coming from the usual folks that you don't hear from during the week.
Amazing how that happens.
And the text said, where are all the haters at now?
Oh, my
No,
God.
the haters are real quiet now. No, hold on. It said, haters are real quiet now. And I said, almost as quiet as the Michigan fans were this week.
Yeah.
So,
You're around some bad Michigan fans. I'll just say that.
Well, one played for the team.
Well, yeah. I expect that out of him, though. Everybody else
One played
though,
for the team. Works at this network.
Yeah. Everybody else, though, it's not a good take.
Go through the I didn't say played for Eastern Michigan, so you know it's not Power Day.
Right.
You know, like,
No, I know who you're referring to.
Shout out
Shout out
Shout out
Power
Power
Day.
Day. No, but anyway, though. No, back out of here. Lions pregame
Right,
show
it's
brought to you by
Lions
New
Day,
Holland
man.
Brewing Company.
We'll do this Monday.
Yeah. We'll do it on Monday, Sean.
We'll do this Monday,
Sean,
man.
Yes.
we'll rack that for Monday.
Oh, yes, we'll do it on Monday.
God.
But yeah. So anyway, Lions Cardinals here today. Lions pregame show on Woodward Sports. Neil Rule, Sean Belesian, welcome in. We do appreciate you. Get your game day started off right. We got the usual rundown for you guys. We'll have your voices heard as well. We keep the chat going, so subscribe to the Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there and get your thoughts out there. We'll take a spin around the NFC North. I got some things to say about that. It could get late early for the Bears today, as a matter of fact.
Big facts.
I was told that kid's awful. It's rookie quarterbacks,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
Stop it.
Hold your water,
right.
Sean.
Neil ready. Look
I
at
feel
him.
like Braveheart. Hold. I know that
ready.
you want to go KMG King. Neil just sick because Michigan won. I expected it more than you guys did. Again, and you know I'm right with that one, KG.
This week, yes, you are correct.
I was like,
I didn't.
when
Yeah.
did USC
But
become
now you see why. that offense, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for Khalil Mullins, it's a whole different story today.
We'll get into it tomorrow.
We
Big
will.
D energy. Don't miss it, everybody. Fins to be electric. Let's just say it like that. But yeah, so that is it. But no, Sean, it's just when you spin around the north, which we will, we'll go in the way back machine too. I got a good one for you,
I
Sean.
can't
Lions,
wait.
Cardinals.
Oh no, there have been some horrible ones.
We're
in this
going
series.
back further.
Are really?
One of the greatest moments, I think, one of the seminal moments in this franchise's history happened when the
God.
Lions played the Cardinals.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to guess off the air because I don't want to.
Yeah. No, it's good. So
Is this the Arizona Cardinals version?
no, this would be the Phoenix Cardinals version.
Phoenix.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
I think
now I know what it is.
yeah, right.
When he
I
said
think
Phoenix?
I think I know what it is. I do. I'm not going to say. I don't want to ruin Neil's fun because, like, he's sitting over there right now, like
Plotting.
a dad that you know.
Yeah.
He go,
Right.
I got you something great for Christmas.
He over there plotting.
It's happy.
I'm eventually going to tell you before Christmas,
Yeah.
but I'm going to pretend like I'm not going to tell
Right.
you.
It's happy. It's happy. Hysterically paranormal. Who's hurt a wide receiver? Why the two wide receivers elevated? Have we got any confirmation on that? Like, who will be inactive because those guys are active? I have the same question.
I do not have
Yeah.
confirmation on it.
and we don't know yet.
No.
And the actives will come out
We will
after
get
we go
it.
off the air.
But we
Right.
will
Hour
get
and
it.
a half before kickoff.
Yeah. So they will come out after we go off the air. So we're just kind of discussing through it.
I do know that
as
Tim
everybody else.
Patrick and Allen Robinson have been elevated off
Correct.
the practice squad. That I do know.
No, absolutely. So we will certainly, and when news breaks, we'll break in. Any
Yes,
NFL
sir.
news, we'll spin around the NFL as well. Take a look at some of the NFL storylines that are going on. But Lions, Cardinals, and look, I think for me, again, the biggest thing, my biggest concern, my biggest worry, I guess that you would say, Alex Anzalone will not play in this game, and the shift will probably be what? Jack Campbell. Right?
That's the assumption.
That's the assumption
I
that the
think that's
shift will be Jack
that's a
Campbell.
fair assumption.
And Sean, Jack Campbell's fine. Look, let's just come out with it because it's going to come off as Jack Campbell hate, and I can't help you with that. But if you think that Jack Campbell in Alex Anzalone's spot with no Alex Anzalone is an upgrade, I can't help you.
No, that's exactly it. But there's a time to step up. I mean, that's the thing about this team that like we have to give them credit. Culture. We talk so much about culture, and so while all of us are sitting back going, the sky is falling, what are we going to do? And oh my goodness, if we lose this game. This is a team that isn't feeling that way, and they haven't reacted that way. And that's something that, again, we have to change our brains, Neil, because we are programmed to, when an injury happens or when a loss happens, it usually leads to 2 or 3. I don't think it's fair to hold Dan Campbell's and Brad Holmes' Lions to that same kind of logic. Let them continue to write their own path as they already have. But I don't blame anybody for waiting until it actually happens, right?
Right.
Because, again, that's how we've been pre-programmed. But, hey, listen, Brad has that credit line, and I have faith. If this is the course that we have to go, then this is going to be the right course. The proof's been in the pudding so far in his tenure.
No, absolutely. Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there. People talking about is Alex Anzalone Lions Den in Dallas? Is Anzo officially out? I saw he was back at practice Thursday. No, we're working on the questionables right now because again, the final roster for the game doesn't come out until after we go off the air today. So we'll be looking around. And oh, by the way, make sure you stay tapped in with Woodward Sports because we'll have the Lions watch party out at Hayes Social, the post game show.
Shout
The
out.
heavyweights will be out there. Shout out. Spencer Raxler says he'll buy your first beer if you come on out there. So I'm gonna roll in. If Spenny's buying drinks, I'm stopping in. Like that's just the way that it's gonna go down. Terry and Arnold, the other one. That certainly now this one's got a little more run. This one's gotten a little more discussion. If he cannot go, I am intrigued to see. The talk, Sean, in the offseason was that this Lions team took a weakness and made it into a strength. When you look at it from a depth perspective.
Sure.
That was the talk. If Terry and Arnold can't play, we going to see right away.
Yep, that's exactly it. I mean, we're going to have that opportunity. I like the fact that you have a general manager that, even with the success of the team, said this wasn't working and made an overhaul. I love that, because you know what the easy play would have been? What the hell are you talking about? We went to the NFC Championship.
Right.
If this, that, or the other thing happens, we're in the Super Bowl. I want that guy. I want that guy to say, yeah, that was cool, but that was last year. We got to be better. If we want to get next level, we got to be better. Now, talking about it and doing it are two different things, but I've said this time and time again, Neil, I'm a big believer in a guy's credit line. Brad Holmes hasn't given us many reasons to sit back and doubt him, but we're going to find out, aren't we? And I think that, all right, let's welcome it. Let's embrace that. Let's embrace that challenge and say, yeah, cool. Now it's time. And I think today might just be that day, fellas.
No, absolutely. And I don't know if you guys, and I assume a lot of you follow Woodward Sports on social media. If you don't, you should. Woodward Sports put it on X. They have the uniform matchup. The Lions are wearing the whites, and the Arizona Cardinals are wearing the blacks. So that's what it is. I love the Lions white unis.
So do
I.
I.
I'm
with you.
I do.
I'm with you. That was my favorite jersey back in the day. Like seriously, the look at that jersey.
It's clean. Detroit on the chest.
Yes,
it's clean.
That's just a clean jersey, man. I like that jersey.
I do too. Mike G. Neil, how many sacks do you need from Aiden Hutchinson today for the Lions to win? And today is unique. This isn't about, I'll take 4, I'll take 5, I'll take 3, I'll take 2.
9 times out of 10, not going to happen.
Right. For me, Sean, that is something where when we talk about the progression of Aiden Hutchinson, and I know people always go to me and they're going, see Neil, and then I always flip that and I say, oh, so there was more in there. I was right. Okay, cool. I was right. There was more in there. And I saw it. And I like it.
Yeah.
I like it when I see it. I think today is another step for Hutch, because this is unique. Because it's always about sacking the quarterback. Like, it's always about that. But today is different, Sean, because you've got a very slippery character out there at quarterback that can bust a play out of nothing, that can turn pressure into a negative. I think today for Aiden Hutchinson, I think it's something where, you know what I do want to see, Mike G, from Aiden Hutchinson? Is not the bull rush, oh shit.
Right.
He breaks out.
The spin move.
He gets an 11-yard carry on 3rd and 9 when you got a chance to get off the field after you scored a touchdown. That's what I want to see from Hutch today. And that is the next level stuff, Sean.
Pete, fact check me. I think Kyler Murray has only been sacked 5 times.
Yeah,
I think that's what I read. Neil, you and I are singing the same song. This town is really weird. Like they get mad when you say, man, Aiden Hutchinson is a really good player. I think he can be better. Somehow that equals anger to people. Mm-hmm. And I don't, because that was my exact same sentiment. Wasn't dogging him, wasn't saying anything negative about him. I think this is a damn good player, and I think he can get better.
5 times confirmed.
Yeah, wouldn't it be weird? Wow, remember that time that a young player actually progressed and got better? So, what are you getting mad at? So Neil, at no point in time, and trust me, I'm in the exact same boat with Aiden Hutchinson. Heck of a player. I'm glad he's here. I think there's another level there. I think he can be developed into even something better. Hopefully, this start is a sign of that progression. Like, that's not dogging. That's not dogging in any way, shape, or form. That's not Neil playing the Michigan slide or anything like that. That's, I don't know, it's common sense. Almost like, rookie quarterbacks. Hey, rookie quarterbacks do dumb things. Aiden Shiles does dumb things. That's for you. But you know what I'm saying? So why would somebody get mad at you or me for saying that? Aiden Hutchinson is a damn good player. I think he can be great. And you know what? He's on the road to great right now, man. He is on the road to great.
Just want to note he is going against another backup tackle today, and Kelvin Beachum. So.
Each.
So there you go. But for me, like, success today is containment of this guy.
Yep.
That's success to me. like Baker Mayfield, he can move a little bit. Obviously,
Yeah.
he got into the end zone,
He's no
but he
Kyler
ain't
Murray.
this.
Yeah.
And I know that we were very quick to throw Kyler Murray in the trash. A lot of people were. But the fact of the matter is, I don't have a problem with Kyler Murray the way everybody else. Remember, this man's team was 9-1 2 years ago.
Yeah.
9-1 2 years. Now they collapsed down the stretch as they tend to do.
But look at their coaching at that time too.
Bingo. See, they are a dysfunctional franchise too, largely.
It's amazing what can happen to a guy when you actually put some viable weapons around him. Isn't that's another, wow, really? That's a fascinating prospect. And you know what? Guys, don't make any mistake about this. Cards have some viable weapons.
They do.
Yes, they do.
They got some talent on the offensive side of the ball. And this is not a one-week phenomenon, okay? Take a look. Take a deeper look. This is a pretty good Cards team. So, look, lines are going to be tested today. Neil, I think you bring up an astute point. I think this secondary is going to be tested today. How do the Lions respond to it? This might be the track meet that a lot of people thought last week was going to be. You're now week 3. You're shaking off some more of that rust and all of that stuff and should have played more reps in the exhibition season. Nah, you know what? Now you're starting to find your track.
Yeah, I was going to say, you and I talked pre-show about the other 2 receivers, aside from Marvin Harrison, that the Arizona Cardinals have, and that's Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson. And between those 2 this year, so far in 2 weeks, they've been thrown to 14 times. Those guys between them are 13 of 14. Those 2 do not drop passes. Now, Greg Dortch does have an injury designation today, so look for Trey McBride to get a lot more work. This is a tight end, guys, who is, I think, not as good as Sam Laporta, but he's definitely showing signs that he could be as good as Sam Laporta with a good quarterback. So you got to be careful of this offense. I agree with you.
No, that's fair, and we'll wrap up the opening thoughts with this, Sean, because I did want to touch on this. And while, again, this is tough because I'm going to sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth with it, but here it is. This game against Arizona today, this is a game, however, if you are a Super Bowl caliber team, that you win.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, Anzalone's out, whatever. Terrion Arnold's out, whatever. Guys are out all across the league. I don't have time to hear that shit. I don't, because that's how this league works.
It's a league.
That's this league. Again, if you are a Super Bowl quality team, these are the types of games you win. When you are 1-1 to go, because it spills into my point from earlier, Sean. There is a world of difference in this league between 2-1 and 1-2. A world of difference.
Well, and especially, I'm going to say it again, you're not mailing in the season if you fall 2 games behind the Vikings. But if the Vikings
you make it
win,
infinitely easier.
Right. The Vikings are 3-0. All of a sudden, you're 2 games behind. And you know what? Yeah, you feel that those 2 games, the head-to-head, all right, we got to go beat the Vikings twice, which, I mean, oh no, what are we going to do? We have to go beat the Vikings twice. But you know what it is? It's the vibes. And I'm not worried, honestly. I mean this, Neil. I'm not worried in the here we go again mantra.
No, and that's where I get off the
into
highway
the
too.
room. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it. I don't know at what point in time that would have to happen this season. I'm not going to allow my brain to go there. I don't even want to think about it, to be honest with you. I'm not going there. I know a lot of you guys will. Hell, Neil, based on the conversation we had this past Monday, and KG, you had a front row seat for it.
Yep.
People were going nuts over a loss.
They were.
A loss to a pretty good Tampa team, right? Mm-hmm. So what might happen if they lose 2 games in a row?
For the first time in 2 years?
Right. So we'll see.
What?
Lions have, as you mentioned, KG, they've historically bounced back really nicely. I expect the same today. I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. But I have the feeling this team bounces back today. But it's not as easy as I think maybe some people are making it out to be.
Mason Gillespie, you guys put me on the taller long drinks, had him for the first time last night, and I just woke up. Now, good God, they are good.
Fire.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Absolutely.
Love the Dutch, man.
What do you got,
Freshly
Pete?
signed Cam Akers is going to be the Houston Texans starting running back today, as both Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce are out. So
That's this
Minnesota
league.
has a huge chance to be 3-0.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing how that
That's
works
huge.
out?
They have no run game, and they just signed Cam Akers a couple weeks. Barely knows the playbook.
This league, Sam freaking Darnold,
Sam
man.
freaking Darnold, man.
This league, it's
Yeah.
you know
coming
what?
back
And
down to earth this week.
And Sean, we all
They got to.
Sean, when this stuff happens, like Sam Darnold being 2-0, we all stand around and look at each other and go, I can't believe this happened. And it happens all the time.
We shouldn't be
does.
stunned.
Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, this is the National Football League. I mean, week to week, you just don't know. You don't.
James, I sent Spenny some birthday money. It's for drinks for him, not for other people. I don't give a shit whose money it is.
Right.
When the man says he's buying me a drink,
Exactly.
I'm walking in the door
Right.
and I'm getting the drink. And I don't care where the money comes
You
from.
don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
No, I absolutely not. I don't care. I don't care if it's your money,
Right.
Spenny's money, if it's drug money,
Right.
Saudi's money. I don't care whose money it is.
Right.
I'm getting
It ain't
that
mine.
drink.
Right, it
I'm
ain't
getting
mine.
that drink. Period. End of story.
Damn right.
I don't care where the money comes from. And guess what kind of drink I'm getting? You've heard of the long drink, a gin-based cocktail. We've got one made right here in Michigan. All natural ingredients, and it's got better flavor, everyone. Taller, the Dutch long drink from the New Holland Brewing Company is shoulders above the rest. That's right, everybody. I've drafted.
Hey.
I'm drafted taller. It's my number one overall pick. I'm putting the hat on, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
Made from New Holland small batch gin, 100% real grapefruit puree for a fresh and delicious flavor. Taller is your local Michigan-made long drink.
Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
All right, everybody, you guys are living it right now, so you know exclusively no one is doing football Sundays better than Woodward Sports. Woodward and Maine. I listen to the very fine Terry Foster, very fine regional media guy, Terry Foster. Matthew on Sundays. Monday through Saturday, he's Matt Broder. On Sundays, magically, he becomes Matthew Broder. So I don't know, you figure it out. 8 to 9 a.m. Obviously, we're here right now, 10 to noon, and it's all brought to you by the New Holland Brewing Company, exclusive sponsor of the Woodward Sports pregame show, presented by Sabbath Coffee Roasters and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And remember, we're in the streets, everybody. Home games. We are at 42 Watson Street in downtown Detroit. You guys know it. Shout out New Holland Brewing Company. We're back at it.
Would you look what Pete just brought in?
Here we go.
I want to send a special shout out right now, okay?
Shout out.
To the diva, Neil Rule.
All right,
and I mean this. No, listen. Yeah, that is not a slight.
Let me get that.
That is respect to the diva. He went full diva during the break, and he said, "I'm glad that you brought this out, but you know what you." Get in there, Rule.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Put this one in the ice.
No, calling Neil Rule of all people a diva, because we all know Neil's history. Like, he's the just, pick yourself up by your bootstraps type of guy.
He went full diva. He said, "I'm on the streets. I'm the guy pushing this. And Pete Spivak, you're going to go back there, and your ass is going to go in that office, and you're going to get us some odds."
Damn.
And Pete was like, "Sure thing, Mr. Rule."
Right.
I've never done that before.
Rule, you won.
Now I know what it's like to be Ermanni and Edwards.
Yeah. You growing
I
up.
can just walk in here, make people do stuff. If I don't like it, tell everybody, I don't like this.
Yep.
I want this. I know they're back. I knew the taller long drinks were back there.
Now
guess what?
You got to make Pete go get a cup with some ice and a lemon. So you can have your beer on the rocks as you should have it.
I'm telling you, like, honest to goodness, like,
these are different, bro.
They are different.
Mason, like, shout out Mason in the chat.
Like, honestly, you guys, I'm not shitting you. I'm not being a shill. I wouldn't sit up here. And this is different. I don't even, Neil, I don't know. Different's a great word for it. I don't know how to explain it. This is just smooth with a V. This is just outstanding.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it. So, again, shout out New Holland Brewing Company.
Hey, save one for me,
Adiz 411,
Yeah,
Bourbon
save
Friday,
some.
New
Sure.
Holland Sundays. Yeah, that's where we're at, everybody.
That Bourbon Friday was nice, too, by the way. Appreciate you. Felt good the rest of the day.
Stick in the chat. Brady's holding out in the back. Don't act like I wasn't going to find that.
Yeah, right. It was going to get found.
Stick, I saw a side of Neil Rule I've never seen before, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was aroused.
No diddy.
Listen, I was flat.
I'm not going to challenge.
I was flat out
screaming for beer.
There is no way.
I was aroused.
Sometimes Sean Belisian wants to party, and you just got to tell him no.
Right.
Listen, I've never heard Pete Spivak say, "Sure thing,
I'm
Mr.
like,
Rule."
sure.
Pete jumped up, and it was Neil. It was Mr. Rule. You became Mr.
It was
turned
free.
into your dad.
It was Ermanni and Edwards 2 to 4 Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
It was
shout out.
It was making demands and
mid-show.
Mid-show. You get your ass back there and you go get those tall. I know they're ready.
Right.
It's like, that's all I got. And you go again. Neil, $10 isn't enough. Make it enough.
Listen, the man wanted his beer. I'm not joking. There was this quote was real. "I'm out here on the streets trying to push this stuff."
Right.
He's the one slinging
Yes, sir,
it.
Mr. Rule.
Damn it.
Sorry, Brady and Chris. He's the one slinging it. I had to give him his props.
Is everything okay now, Mr. Rule?
Right.
All right.
For the time being.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying
Pete.
my Sabbath coffee, just so everybody knows. I'm enjoying my
there it
Sabbath
is.
coffee.
Pete.
Paul Thomas, love you guys at Woodward. Go Lions. Worried because we lose in Arizona often. I think they're 1-1-1 in the last 3. Didn't they tie last time?
You know
they were
what
out there?
it was? That's an older Lion fan because I can tell you this that
I got a record
for years we went out there and it was always something interesting, right?
Yeah.
Didn't it always? It always
interesting.
seemed like it always. How the did we lose that game? Right, and that was it. I can tell you in my time when I was working for the radio network, we went out there a couple times and took care of business. Yeah. So, but yes, historically, it hasn't been the kindest place going out to the desert.
If I saw this stat correctly, Jared Goff is 8-1 all time against the Cardinals.
Yes, Pete, you are
okay.
correct.
8-1.
He is 8-1.
All right.
All right.
Good job.
That sounds good.
Impressive, JB
I like being
Smooth.
confirmed. Being confirmed makes
I
me
do.
feel
I
good.
do feel like I'm. You know what?
I like being confirmed.
Real quick. I do feel like I'm on Ermanni and Edwards now.
Yeah,
I
right.
got water brought to me.
Right.
I'm making demands, and people are running like they're scared.
You got a water before the show?
Yeah, JB Smooths made elite graphics.
Yeah.
This is everybody. This is wild. Woodward Sports chat thread. What the hell is this show from Brandon? It's a Lions
different.
pregame show. Yeah, it is. It's the best. It's the best in the market. People want to know, Dad with Tourette, Sean, you and Killer ever have a beer on air?
Yes. Yeah, if you remember, rest his soul. My man, as you know, he loved his Bud Lights, and don't you dare hand him a can. If you hand him a can, there's a good chance it's going to be tattooed on your forehead. He's going to fire it at your forehead. But yeah, back in the day, we cracked a few.
All right, let's do this then, Sean. Let's take a look around the NFL. I do enjoy this portion of the show. We'll have Sean's matchup coming up in just a little bit. Sean's matchup to watch, I guess you could call it. Pete Spivek's here. He'll spin you around the fantasy real quick. Maybe he'll even have a parlay for you. We'll see where we're at with that as well. We got the Wayback Machine. We'll take a look at a prior Lions-Cardinals matchup, all of that and more. But, Sean, storylines from around the NFL. For me, I think if you look at this thing nationally, the Ravens, they go to 0-3, and it's a coin flip game in Dallas. They're cooked. They're cooked in terms of winning the division, especially if Pittsburgh wins. I'm not saying it's impossible, but they can make things really, really hard on themselves here today. And the math says they won't make the playoffs if they go to 0-3.
The disappointing thing to me last week, that was my pick of the week, and some of you called me out for it. Call me out anytime, okay? Just don't forget to call me in when I'm right. But with that being said, it wasn't the fact that they lost to the Raiders, it was the way that they lost to the Raiders. That was frightening. That's a bad sign for this team. So they got to bounce back. The good news is they have the crazy Dallas Cowboys. Which Dallas Cowboys are you going to get this week? Which Dak Prescott are you going to get this week? An opportunity for them. But it's weird when you look at it. A couple teams that thought, well, if anybody could threaten the KC Chiefs stranglehold on the AFC, it might be the Ravens. Maybe, just maybe, it might be the other 0-2 team as well out in the AFC, the Cincinnati Bengals. They're both 0-2, man. So here we are, putting yourself in the hole. I don't know what to expect from that game. That is one game I'm really intrigued at. I'm not going to lie to you because I don't know what to expect. I mean, first and foremost, you don't know what to expect from the Jerry Jones Cowboys. And make no mistake about it, that's not the Mike McCarthy Dallas Cowboys. It's the Jerry Jones Cowboys. Week in, week out, you don't know what to expect. I think Baltimore bounces back. I think Baltimore
I think they
finds a way, but we'll wait and see.
Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there, get your thoughts out there. What are you guys looking at? Certainly around the NFL. We'll check in on the NFC Central as well. But Woodward Sports chat thread, where was it? I just had it and I lost it. Ron K. Neal is a man of the people. So is Sean Belizean, everybody.
Thank you.
Just two dudes up here with a microphone. Never proclaimed to be anything else.
Nope.
Just two dudes with a microphone. Neil, how did your betting advice on the Michigan game play out yesterday? I kind of broke that thing down.
Yeah.
Spot on.
You did. You was on it.
Spot on.
Gotta give you your credit.
You're welcome. Mike G. Stick carries Woodward Sports. Shout out Stick. He'll be on the postgame show, by the way, live from Hayes Social. Sean, what about you, man? You look around the NFL. What are you kind of seeing out there? Things are late early for the Colts. When do we get to say that Trevor Lawrence stinks? Today? If they lose today, do we get to say that?
I've been saying that.
No, when does it get accepted, socially?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to say today, but we're creeping up to that point, aren't we? We are creeping. You know what else we're creeping up to? I think a lot of people thought that the Josh Allen window closed. Maybe it didn't. And I always use Josh Allen and the Bills as this cautionary tale. 3-4 years ago, right? The sky was the limit. That was only the beginning. Bills Mafia, all that stuff. And then obviously we know there were some changes, and in particular a wide receiver left. But they're continuing to find a way. And that guy, I don't care what anybody says, I think he is so stinking fun to watch. You just don't know what you're going to get out of the guy. He is so stinking fun to watch. The Bengals, I'm going to say it again. Can they do it again? Joe Burrow, big fan of Joe Burrow. I'm not sure he gets his love that he deserves, the flowers that he deserves.
See, I think it's the other way with him.
Do you think he gets too much?
Finally, we have some conflict, Sean.
All right, that's a good thing.
Because if they lose today, which they shouldn't,
They're not going to lose against the Commanders.
No.
You wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think so, right? You wouldn't think so.
No.
So with that being said, Sean, if they do, and they're 0-3, math says they're cooked.
Yeah.
Again, and when do we get to ask the question? Because the vibe I get around them, and look, Burrow's fine. Burrow's fine. It's just the vibe that I get when I hear the news around the league and everything like that. You got their owner staring down. It's a stare down with Jamar Chase, and that organization is dysfunctional. The ownership is dysfunctional. Here's what I've heard
before.
But here's what I've heard, Sean. The problem with the Chase contract is the signing bonus. That's the problem with the Chase contract right now, because the ownership isn't comfortable with how high of a signing bonus Chase wants to get. Because as an owner, what do you have to do? When you sign those $110 million signing bonuses, the owner has to then scratch a check to an escrow company. That money sits in escrow, which is taken out of his account. That is the holdup right now with the Bengals. Like, that's their owner, Sean. Could you imagine Penei Sewell battling with Lions ownership, and Penei says, look, I want $150 million guaranteed. They only want to give me $60.
I am not.
That's the holdup right
Neil,
now.
I am not going to throw any former Lion player under the bus, okay? But you need to trust me when I say this, okay? I have talked to more players than you can shake a stick at in the last 25 years, okay? That guys around the league talk, okay? They talk. The Lions had a reputation for a reason. Everybody talks about why would somebody want to come to Detroit. The biggest reason was the chatter and the way that management treated them and former general managers. Neil, that is a fact. It is not an opinion. Trust me when I say this, guys talk, and a lot of former players talk. Now, this regime has completely changed that. And conversely, guys talk. Now people are talking favorably about Detroit. Now people are talking about how they've been treated by the Lions. But with that ownership team in Cincinnati, guys talk. Again, this is a team that a couple years ago was on the cusp of greatness. They were this close, right? Okay? Why didn't they go get some guys? Why didn't they get guys talking about why Cincinnati was a great destination and they're right on the cusp? You know why? Guys talk. And if you continue to do business in the way that you just discussed, Neil, you are going to be what you've been. Now, I like Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow, one of the most explosive offenses these two eyes have ever seen in college football. That 2019 LSU team
People
was
forget already.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And he was the architect of that. Now, there's a big difference. Explosive offense, best team. I go with 95 Nebraska. I digress. But with that being said, this is a guy, when healthy and when he's got his complement, that's a dangerous team. Do I think that they're going to end up winning the AFC? No. But what is the issue that continually has this team coming out of the gate so shitty?
I don't know.
What is it? There's like, honestly, if it happens once, okay, that's weird. That's crazy. I remember the one year Dallas won. They started out 0-2. Emmett wasn't there. Emmett came back. It was onward and upward. But if this happens continuously, that tells me that there's some kind of poison in the water down there. And I think it starts at the very top with that ownership group.
Last one before we spin around the NFC North, Sean. The game of the day, in my mind, Tom Brady doesn't have to be there on the call for it to be the game of the day. The game of the day, as much as I won't watch a second of it, because I'm not interested in watching that, but the game of the day, which is weird, I know, but listen, work with me here, people. The Chargers and the Steelers.
Thank you.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Thank you.
Somebody's going to be 3-0.
You're right.
I got a feeling it could very well be Jim Harbaugh. And Sean, I know I get accused of being a Michigan hater and everything like that, but I've
heard
always
that
said,
a few times.
But Sean, I've always said Jim Harbaugh is an elite football coach. He's a weird dude, but he's an elite football coach. But, you know, the math checks out, right? the more weird people are, typically, the better they are at their craft.
Facts.
It's the way that, like, geniuses are weird. They just are.
Yeah.
And he's a football
eccentric.
genius.
I think he does a good job with the whole culture thing. I mean, I'm sure you guys heard the story during the week. I'm going to jump in my usual uniform, khakis and all, into the hot tub and sit with a bunch of cats. Okay? Guys love that shit. They love it. Yeah, he's one of us. He's just a normal dude. So you give him full credit, Neil. I'm with you. It's fantastic. One of my pet peeves, however, is and I know somebody's going to take this as a shot. I cannot stand when somebody asks me to call something elite when it's not elite. Jim Harbaugh from 2015 to 2020 was not elite. And a lot of Michigan fans insisted that we call the less than elite numbers elite. You cannot argue with what they did 21, 22, 23. He got all the mojo back. He got that offer to San Diego, and the proof's in the pudding what he's done so far. And I think you and I found this out last week, you and I are in the Mike Tomlin fan club.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is Mike Tomlin just continues to do Mike Tomlin things.
does.
You don't know how he does it.
in 2 decades.
You don't know how he does it, but he does it. And he finds a way.
Pickett to the playoffs.
It's insanity. It really is. I mean, tip of the cap. But again, you know what it comes back to? It comes back to ownership. It comes back to front office. All those things that we were talking about of the Lions of the past, and certainly the Bungles, maybe of today, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been an exemplary franchise for a long time. Now, I know it hasn't culminated in a Super Bowl championship, but you know what? If you're consistently as good as the Pittsburgh Steelers have, like, think about this, okay? All right? Think about all the coaches for the Detroit Lions in the last 15 years. You know what the Steelers have had since the 60s?
Mike Tomlin.
You're right.
Bill
Chuck
Cowher.
Noll.
You're right.
Bill Cowher.
Mike Tomlin.
And Mike Tomlin.
That's it.
Are you
That's all you need.
freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
You
No,
see
it
that? The
is.
taller got to me. I almost dropped
Right.
it.
I love it, man.
Give me
Energy
some
tall.
more and I'm going to be dropping the F-bomb left and right.
Hey.
Neil, get in that back room. Go get another case for us.
Right. Get another one.
Neil, I want another case.
We need a BAC check on Mr. Bleacher. BAC check.
Woodward Sports Chat Thread. Jump in to there and get your thoughts out there. Devin, worst Detroit sports media right here, which I checked the resume, and I see an over 2-decade career to the left of me.
Facts.
That's what I see.
29.
I didn't want to say going on 3 decades.
I'm old.
I'm a
so
wordsmith.
it's okay. 29 years.
I'm a shitty media
Cool.
wordsmith.
Appreciate you.
I didn't want to say 3 decades, Sean, because that would have made you old. You're still young in my book, man. You're still young in my book. So Devin, that's an interesting take.
Thank you, Devin.
Logic tends to disagree with you.
Always appreciate you tuning in, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
We do love it. But no, get in here and get your thoughts out there. Big cuz Tomlin's been a top 3 coach. Brando, you all are ungrateful. Harbaugh restored Michigan.
What? Did I miss something?
I don't know. I don't
Did
know.
I?
14 Grit, the golden voice of U of M hate. I know. I expect more than you guys do. No, all right, Sean. It's time. It's time to take a spin around the NFC North real quick. Why? Because that directly impacts where the Lions are. Before we jump back into the Lions-Cardinals matchup, when we come back, we got some fantasy stuff to get to as well. First off, Sean, I was told that the Bears are to be feared. I was told that Caleb Williams is now on the scene and has put this league on notice. I was told that the Bears are right around even money to make the playoffs. Checks notes. They're going into Indy today. I don't believe that Caleb Williams has thrown a touchdown pass yet, as a matter of fact. And the Colts are 0-2. The Colts have to have there. I don't see a world where the Bears win this game, Sean. This is if you don't understand what's at stake for the Colts here today, then you don't understand NFL, and maybe you should go do something else on a Sunday.
I'm not a fan of Hard Knocks. I've never been a fan of Hard Knocks. I think I've been out to training camp many, many times. I know what training camp is, and I know what it isn't. Hard Knocks is not training camp.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just isn't. These guys know when the lights are on. They know when the camera's on. And you see and hear things that make it just a complete hype machine. And so what you get from that is what we've seen with the Bears. The Bears are an absolute hype train right now. And the people saying, be worried about the Bears, be afraid of the Bears, et cetera, et cetera. I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Rookie quarterbacks struggle in this league. If you want to take an exception, whether it's C.J. Stroud or whomever else, and make it speak for the rule, good luck with that. Because for every guy that you can bring up, I can bring up 10 that have struggled, including Peyton Manning, who, Pete, fact check me, I believe threw 27 interceptions in his rookie year. That's what happens in the National Football League. I'm not sitting here saying that Caleb Williams is never going to succeed in the National Football League.
I am.
Okay.
No, he is for sure.
I'm not ready to go there yet, okay? What I am going to tell you is definitively what we've seen in the first couple weeks is kind of a sign of things to come in the next at least couple of months. Rookie quarterbacks do dumb things in this league, and rookie quarterbacks cost you, and rookie quarterbacks are going to hurt you. And I think that's what we've seen with the Bears so far.
No, and I think that continues. And again, you're going on the road into a state. See, this is another, no one's talking about this angle of this game, but this is another welcome to the NFL moment. Mm-hmm. You have a team season on the brink in week 3 because that's where the Colts are when you're in the AFC. Those are the stakes for the Indianapolis Colts. And he's walking into that right now. They've got no chance. The Bears have no chance to win that game today. No chance to win that game. What do you got, Pete?
Just an injury update for that game. Michael Pittman is going to be playing. He does have a back injury and a hip injury, but he is...
magically, when it's all on the line, here comes everybody.
Here comes that special sauce. He's playing.
No. I fact-checked myself, by the way. You know how
I was about to say, yeah, you're good. Yeah.
28 interceptions, not 27, 28 interceptions.
And Tua Tagovailoa did make the trip. He will be on the sidelines with the Dolphins today, but most likely not playing, obviously.
That's cool to see.
He's not going to stop. Neil, you and I talked about that Thursday on the show. He's not going to stop.
Mm-hmm. He will play again this year.
He will. Yeah. This is his life. This is what he knows. That's why, and it's sad, so many National Football League players don't know what to do with their life when their career ends.
It is sad.
Because this has been their life. You know, it's easy to sit back and say, well, why don't you get a job working for the local team or working for the local media or one of the national jobs? But this has been Tua's life. He is not going to retire. I hope that he never has to deal with this again, but the probability of him dealing with it again, especially the way he plays, is very, very high.
You just hope it doesn't get worse each time.
100%, man.
Is his brother still in the CFL? I think his brother went from Maryland to the CFL.
Yeah, to the CFL.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, I'm surprised, man. A lot of people on here. Dad with Tourette's. Colts don't have a defense. This is a good get-back game for them. The Bears head coach and OC suck. The O-line sucks, and the rookie quarterbacks often suck. They do.
The Colts have a defense. They've just underperformed.
They haven't used it properly yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, and there is you should fear the Bear. Dude, Caleb Williams has 800 feet of passing.
Dude, he's a rookie.
Yeah,
800 feet.
Seriously.
You can't fear the Bears.
And as somebody that was a Caleb Williams, well, I won't say supporter, but I thought he would do well because of how insulated he is. So far, he cannot break out of the things that made him great in college. Like you said, no passing touchdowns to this point.
He's got 800 feet of passing this year. You can't even go around a track once with that.
The offense has no rhythm. I think, what was the receiver? I can't remember, but one of his receivers was mad at him as well over this past game. It has not looked good for Chicago and just how the offense has looked overall.
Caleb Williams, can I read this?
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys, seriously? 37 of 66 for 267 yards in 2 games.
800 feet.
Think about that. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Oh, by the way, he also has 10 carries for 58 yards.
What's that rating? What's that QB rating?
53?
He is the leading rusher for the Bears, I might add, with 59 yards, okay?
Yeah.
Some guy named DeAndre Swift, remember him? 24 carries for 48 yards.
Well, don't worry, Sean. He'll get it together soon. He's about to break out.
Knock it off. Knock it off. Again, this is... I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say this, okay? No. No, this is a blanket statement. It's just not about Caleb Williams. It's like, are you new to the league? Rookie quarterbacks struggle. Mm-hmm. Stop it. Stop using the exception to a rule and trying to make that speak for the rule. Not Neil. The overall rule. It makes no sense to me. And you know what? Everything that I've seen out of Caleb Williams has supported everything that I feel about rookie quarterbacks in the National Football League.
I'll give you clue number one. Check out DJ Moore's face. You could see his face through the face
Moore.
mask
Yeah.
on
That's
that
what I
back
was
shoulder
talking about.
pass
You're right.
in the fourth quarter and last week's game.
Right.
There's your answer.
Yep.
If DJ Moore has that face, see you later.
Can I go on the way back machine, Neil? I think I brought this up to you Thursday, but for the benefit of people that didn't check it, I was in the locker room when the Lions made the announcement that they were going to bench Scott Mitchell and they were going to go with a rookie by the name of Charlie Batch. I was in the locker room as a very young reporter. To say that the air was let out of that locker room, to say that the helium went out of that balloon would be an understatement. You Neil visibly saw guys go like this. Season was over. That was it. It was over. And subsequently, a guy by the name of Barry Sanders retired after that season. It's guys know, they've been in the league. They know that rookies are going to struggle. Every now and again, I want to say this in case somebody calls me out, you're going to get a C.J. Stroud. But for every C.J. Stroud, you get 10 rookies who struggle and struggle mightily.
Here's where it all revolves back to. Kiazi. Remember how much trash Bears fans were talking before the season? I do, Key, and that's why I bring this up, and I'll always bring this up.
It's unlike Bears fans.
You guys want to know where the best pregame Lions party is? Detroit's second best bar. You guys already know what it is. 42 Watson Street. It's the ultimate fan experience on home game days. You can come out and enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey. Catch Woodward Sports pregame show. Myself, Sean Belesian, two mediocre media guys, according to somebody in the chat. But hey, we have a good time still, nonetheless. And we're at second best bar. Come get some.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
All right, hour number 2, Lions pregame show right here on Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by New Holland Brewing Company. My name is Neil Rule, Sean Belizean. We got KG. Pete Spivak is in the building. We'll hear from Pete in a little bit. Some fantasy plays, maybe a Pete's parlay.
Better believe it, baby.
We'll see. We got JB Smoove in the building, mixing and scratching. Chase is hanging out as well. And I had to buy him coffee today, as a matter of fact, because I bet on Michigan against Texas. Didn't work out well.
Yeah.
But I was told I was a hater.
I mean, you kind of are still.
Okay. We good, KG?
We working on it, man. It's a process.
We ain't good, but we real good.
It's a process.
Chris Brown.
We need therapy sessions when it comes to Michigan. So that's it.
No, we are. We're talking Lions and Cardinals, obviously spinning around the NFC North Division. Real quick, let's wrap that up. We'll get to Sean Belizean's matchup to watch in just a couple of seconds. But Sean, again, just wrapping this up real quick. NFC North. Packers are going to win, aren't they?
Yep.
They're going to win.
Yes,
they're going to get away with Jordan Love getting hurt, with Malik Willis. They're going to win again today, aren't they?
They are.
Yes,
in Tennessee.
They are.
They're a good team. I know nobody wants to hear it, but they're a good team.
This is different than the Caleb Williams thing for me with the Packers. I'll admit it, but I don't want to hear it. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
That's bullshit that they're going to win again.
I think it's our job. It's our job to shoot straight, and facts aren't for everybody. They aren't. We've found that out many, many times. But you know what? The Packers are a pretty good team, and yes, whether we want to admit it or not, I think we all still have Packer on the brain in a certain regard, and perhaps we have Jordan Love on the brain in a certain regard. Especially after you saw what we saw last Thanksgiving, and then he carried that over into the playoff. But, you know, at the end of the day, look, I think the Lions are a better team. Well, the Lions are going to have a chance to prove it, Pete.
I don't know if you guys remember, but in the last pregame show we did, I said that if the Packers were going to win last week, Josh Jacobs had to be the running back that he was in 2022, the NFL leading rushing leader. And look at what he has done so far with the Green Bay offense, guys. Everything goes through him, and he has picked up where Jordan Love has been lost, and he is absolutely going to lead them to the win today. Josh Jacobs, take all the overs on him today, touchdowns. It's all Josh Jacobs for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it is. They're going to win, and it pisses me off. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel here on the New Holland Brewing Lions pregame show. John effing Lord, if Colorado can have a buffalo, why can't the Lions have a pet lion? They have a tiger at LSU.
That's right.
Yeah. That's it.
We have
that's
a zoo right here. Go borrow a lion.
Go borrow
Why
a
not?
lion.
Why not?
What's the problem?
No Fun League? Is that... Can we blame it on the No Fun League? Maybe we could do that. We could blame it on the No Fun League. It's a straight shot down Woodward, though,
It's
Pete.
right
I guess
there.
I never thought about that.
Dan Campbell tried. He couldn't get it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Woodward Sports
You
chat
get a
thread.
tiger while you're at it, too.
James brings up something interesting. Imagine Willis keeps winning, and when Love comes back, they lose 2 straight. Now, that I would trade. I would take that
Absolutely.
trade. 100%.
There you go.
That I would take that trade. Then lastly, in the NFC North, Sean, the Vikings hosting the Texans, and this is a spot. Sam Darnold is still their quarterback. Justin Jefferson is supposed to play. That's a word on the street. Sam Darnold is still their quarterback. This is a spot where teams like the Vikings, they always lose these kinds of games.
Yep.
Always.
Yep. And you know what? Hey, listen, if they find a way to win, props to them. There's no doubt about it. But I'm going to repeat something we said about an hour ago. I am not going to lose my shit if the Minnesota Vikings start 3-0. They still have 2 games against the Detroit Lions. I still have full faith that the Detroit Lions are going to go 2-0 against the Minnesota Vikings. But with that being said, you know what? I like C.J. Stroud in this one. I do. The Vikings have been a cute story. Give them their credit. And, you know, some people saying that Sam Darnold's on a revenge tour and all that stuff. Okay, stop it. He's still Sam Darnold. There's a reason he's been passed around a few times. And I like the Texans' chances, and I like the Lions' chances to be a better team than Minnesota Vikings by the time all is said and done.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I sit, too. I really like Houston a lot. We'll have our picks, by the way, brought to you by Caesar Sportsbook coming up. Freddie Felt was asking about it. Yeah, we're definitely going to get there. All right, Sean, it's time for Sean Belesian's matchup to watch in the Lions v. Cardinals game today. And, Sean, I know we touched on the Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone angle. We touched briefly on the Terrion Arnold stuff. What's a matchup you're watching here today? What's Sean Belesian with 100 pounds of meat in the smoker in his backyard, sitting down in a 4 o'clock game, too? Prime eating.
Are you kidding me?
Eating time.
That's when you get those Duroc ribs on a few hours early, and you know what? You got to be smart. You got to be smart. I'm glad that you brought this up. You get those Durocs on a little early, so about 4:15 you got those Duroc ribs done. Spend a little extra to get the Duroc. You'll thank me later. And then you know what you can do at the same time? You put those beef short ribs on.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So by the time the 8 o'clock starts, I just ate the Durocs. Now I got a little appetite going. Oh, look what I have here. I have meat candy coming out of my smoker right before the 8:15 starts.
Look at this man.
He's a meat connoisseur,
Listen, don't get me started. Don't. All right, no, you know what, Neil? I hate to be boring.
The game, Sean,
yeah,
the game
I
while
hate
we're here.
Listen, I hate to be boring. You guys, the National Football League is all about what your quarterback can do to the team and how you can get after the quarterback. And I've kind of looked at the wide receivers and the weapons for the Cardinals in this game, and I said, no, you know what? I'm going to take the flip side this week. What can the Lions do to put pressure on Kyler Murray? We talked about it before. We touched on it. I'm not expecting Hutch to go out there and have 5 sacks, 4.5 sacks, and make a run at William Gay's franchise record for a game. But you know what? Make his life miserable. That's what I'm looking at this game. I know Pete is going to take a closer look at perhaps some of the fantasy options. The Cardinals have weapons. And again, the National Football League today, whether you want to admit it or not, is absolutely inconsequential. It's 2 things. What can your quarterback do to the opposition, and how can you make the opposition's quarterback miserable? And I hope the Lions make Kyler Murray's life miserable. And that doesn't necessarily take form and shape in the amount of times that they sack him. As Pete brought up earlier, he's only been sacked 5 times. I just want his life to be miserable. They have to. This is where I'm going to use the term. No player likes to use this. No team likes to use this term. If you have to manufacture a pass rush today, in a perfect world, it's organic. If you have to manufacture a pass rush today, so be it. Find a way to win this game. Find a way to improve to 2-1. But, Neil, that's what I'm looking at. How miserable can the Lions make Kyler Murray's life?
And that's, Sean, where it comes back to me, and we did touch on this, and Mike G brought up the question, how many sacks do you need from Aiden Hutchinson for the Lions to win today? And Sean, that's not the issue with me today. The issue is when everything breaks down, can you keep them in the yard?
Right.
You know what I'm like? That's it. Can you keep him in the backyard? Yeah. You don't want him running out, running down the street and stuff like that. You want to keep him in the backyard. And this is where everybody hold your breath for a second here. This is where I feel that sometimes teams use Aiden Hutchinson's motor and aggressiveness against him.
It's true.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Sean, am I being a hater? Am I talking shit?
No.
Like, for real. I believe that is a weapon that teams use against him.
He
from time to
over-pursues
time.
a lot.
100%.
And that's it. And I do think that he is a matchup to watch, but not for the 4.5 sacks. Can you keep the kid in the backyard?
Sometimes you have to stay home because what a smart team does and what a smart offensive coordinator does is they do exactly what you just said, KG, and that's I'm going to use your over-aggression against you. Okay, this guy is going after it. He is on 100%. So you know what? I'm going to use that little delay and set up a screen.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you're 15 yards downfield yelling, son of a bitch. And those are the kind of things. Sometimes you have to stay home. Contain is a word for a reason, and I think contain might just be the key to the game today.
Yeah, it won't just be on Aiden today, though. You got a full complement
right.
of your defensive line today. You are going to get a healthy dose of DJ Reader. Marcus Davenport is back as well. So whatever Hutch can't do, I expect the rest of that defensive line to kind of make up for that.
I will say this, too, Sean. We saw our first installment of the DJ Reader effect.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take some more of that, please.
Absolutely.
Bro. No, I feel like nobody talked about it in this town.
Mm-hmm. Well, he only played 25% of the snaps.
I know, but when he was out there,
it was a difference.
It was visibly different.
As advertised.
Do me a favor, everybody, that when you're watching the game at home today, when Reeder's out there on the field,
number 98,
not Hank Thomas,
right.
but DJ Reeder. When DJ Reeder's on the field, lock in and watch. Just watch. It's incredible, man. It is absolutely incredible. And I know Terry Foster loves him because he's got a huge ass. That is something that Terry Foster on Woodward and Maine, he references that all the time. What you must have in a front seven, especially defensive linemen.
Disruptor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you want. You know what? And again, it's funny, and I always talk to people like our buddy Sam Flannel. I am a recovering stataholic. I openly admit it, and I'm not healed. You know, it's a
one day at a time.
It's one day at a time, and you know,
PFF tweet at a time.
sometimes the numbers don't suggest the impact that a guy's making. You know, I want a disruptor. I want a guy that's going to create some opportunities for other guys. I don't care if Neal goes and gets 5 sacks. If I'm disrupting and getting a couple guys paying attention to my big fat ass, so be it. I mean, that's what it's all about. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that today, because I'm not, again, here's where the stats come in. I'm not expecting a slew of sacks. I'd be pleasantly surprised. I welcome it. Come on. Yeah. But with that being said, this is a guy, it's difficult to do that. He's only been sacked 5 times. Make his life miserable. Contain him today. That's a huge key.
No, it certainly is. Interesting, in the chat, there seems to be a divide right now. Xenox says pause. 14 Grit, however, says huge ass correlates with a good defensive tackle. It's a consistency we've noticed. It's a trend that we notice. Ryan's reaction breaks it down further. The power comes from the ass. But then Xenox says, no Diddy.
Yeah.
And then QQWW says, this is the Diddy podcast.
All right. Whoa. There's no freak-offs transpiring here, okay?
I don't see no 500 bottles of oil.
Right. No, we good.
500 cans of Power.
This is a no freak-off zone. This is a no freak-off zone.
No.
Absolutely.
I'll take 500 cans of this, but no freak-offs here.
Yeah.
None.
No, Paul Thomas. I will not read your chat thread messages. We are not, quote, doing anything to Kyler like Diddy.
No,
right?
wait.
We're not.
We're not force read messages.
Hey, yo!
Stay out with that stuff, Paul Thomas. It's not getting read here. It's not here. It has no place on this show.
Come on, Paul. You better than that.
We can't do that.
Shout out Paul,
sir.
man.
We're not doing that.
No.
You better than that, Paul.
And we're not making any kind of suggestion to doing that either.
No, absolutely not. No, but Sean, it is like, for me, it is that simple, because Lions games seem to be pretty basic to me. You will not run the football on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, point blank, period.
That's it. And I do think this, though. I think, and this will blow your mind, certainly given the offensive line issues that the Cardinals are facing right now. I just get done telling everybody that we're not that show, and we're not doing it. And JB Smoove, what do? You go and be that.
Shout out to Chase, though. Just shout out.
I expect better out of you, JB Smoove. All right, getting back to the point, though. Given the given the struggles that the Arizona Cardinals are facing in the offensive line right now, I will say this, and people are going to laugh at this, so get ready. I believe that James Conner is one of those guys. If anyone's going to have success running the football against the Lions, I think James Conner is very slept on in this league. I think the Steelers made a pivotal mistake not bringing him back. And I know he gets banged up a lot, but he's playing today. Mm-hmm. And I think if the Cardinals have success today, that James Conner is going to be more involved than you think he will be.
You know what? I'm going to flip the script, because Pete and I were talking about this morning. You know what? I'd like this to be the David Montgomery type of day, too. I would. All right, let's. You know what? We're gonna take that hammer and we're gonna keep hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
And we might get 2 here. We might get 2 here. We might get 2 here. But the 5th time I hit you with the hammer, you sit back and say to yourself, "Shit, that hurts. I don't want to get hit with the hammer." And 2 becomes 7. 2 becomes 14. I would like to see that type of thing. I'm not arguing with you about James. I think quietly he's been a solid player. And again, it's that whole Steeler dynamic, isn't it? If the Steelers touch you, there's like pixie dust. Whether you see it or not is inconsequential. But with that being said, I would like the Lions to conversely maybe do that same kind of thing. You know what? We've got a lot of flash, but today we're going to keep hammering you, and we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to stay committed to it, because eventually what's going to happen is we're getting 2 here, we're getting 3 here, we're getting 1 here, but eventually you're going to get sick and tired of getting hit, and I hope that that's part of the equation today. To be honest with you guys, I don't want to get into a track meet with the Cardinals. I don't want to get into a track meet with the Cardinals. I'd like to see the Lions take things into their own hand.
Big Dan Dave, and I just had an epiphany, and I tell you guys this all the time in the chat. You guys program the show a lot because I'm going to talk about what you guys are talking about. Makes sense, right? Like, it's important to you, so it should be important to us. Big Dan Davis brings up a great question. It's something, this wasn't a good job by me because I didn't address it, but thank you, Big Dan Davis, for bringing it up. Do you guys have confidence that they will balance out the offense and Ben Johnson will balance off the offense and get back to a more consistent run game today?
They got to.
But Sean, I know everybody expects that they're going to go full Jim Harbaugh on the Chargers with J.K. Dobbins. I don't think they're ever going to go back to that.
I don't either.
Here's why. Because number 9 commands the football 8 to 10 times a game now. You have to get the ball in Jameson Williams' hand. Guys, I'm sorry. I know a lot of you, a lot of you were in that camp, the bus and everything like that. He is so dynamic. No one said a word about him this week. He is so dynamic of a presence on the field that the math necessitates that he has to get the football 8-ish times a game. He has to, Sean.
That's true, Neil, but 55 times, you can do that, but 55 times when you're down 1 score is kind of ridiculous.
But I think we have to adjust ourselves and our thought process and thought patterns about this team offensively now, because it is going to be different. Because Jameson Williams has to get the ball.
Fact.
Has to get the ball.
But you can do that in 36 attempts.
But it's gonna come at the expense of somebody, though. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's why we can't. No matter what happens this weekend, Sean, and I'll hand it off to you here. I think that early on, we have trained ourselves to be the very thing that you're recovering from. That we run to the box score, and then we kind of fit our narrative with what happened in the game with the box score. And what's wrong with Laporta? Oh my God, Amon-Ra St. Brown only had 4 catches. Guys, there's a new player in this offense, and it has wide-ranging effect on everything that happens. No one thinks about it this way. It will impact the running game. It will impact Laporta. It will impact Amon-Ra St. Brown. The water falls down, man. It just does.
That's exactly where I was going with it, because I think this is a both things can be true scenario. Can we get the run game going? Well, why can't J-Mo be part of the run game? How about run 2, 3, 4 jet sweeps? Just because. You have this weapon coming in a jet, okay?
And Sean, I'm cool with that too.
Let's roll with it.
I don't care how he gets the football.
You know what? 100%. That's what I want. I said at the beginning of the year, I'm going to continue to say it. I want more touches for Jameson Williams. This is an electric player. I don't care if it's 5 targets and 4 handoffs, a total of 8 touches. I don't care. You know what? Keep the defense honest. You know, I was talking about the hammer. Here comes Montgomery. Here comes Montgomery. Here comes Montgomery. You're expecting to get hit by the hammer again, and then all of a sudden, here he comes on a jet to the wide side of the field with space. Cool. I'm down with that. So I think both boxes can be checked there. Yeah, are we going to get back to more of a run game? Well, we can do that. If you get Gibbs here, Montgomery here, and here, and then we have to keep you honest because Jameson might come around on a jet. Yeah, I think that's a both things can be true situation, and I hope that's the case because I want the ball in the hands of a guy that, whether you want to admit it or not right now, is absolutely inconsequential. That guy can break any play. He's shown that. If you don't want to admit it, you're one of those guys right now that dug your heels in too deep, and now you're just, I don't want to be wrong guy. This is a guy who's a game breaker.
Here on Mark M, I'm more concerned with Ben calling the right pass plays and run plays. He spent a whole second half being the smartest, i.e. dumbest guy in the room. And here, Mark M, I will give Ben Johnson credit, and I will give Dan Campbell credit. Because when they talked to the media this week, I got those vibes where they didn't say it this way, but my takeaway was we got a little too cute. We got a little too cute. We thought, and the reason you know this is because you heard Dan Campbell himself say it, where we thought, he admitted that was the game plan, to come in there and spin it, and he said we thought that there were some things that we saw that we could take advantage of. And I would say, by and large, they did.
They did.
They had 450 yards.
But when the Bucs adjusted, they didn't. That was the problem.
And that's fair, and that's definitely fair. But, people are talking about this Lions team like they didn't just have 450 yards of offense in an NFL game.
You know what it is, though? It's the whole crunch time situation. I'll say the same thing I talked to you about on Monday. It was like what happened in the last 2 minutes of both halves was criminal. It was. I mean, what happened in that first half, we know, and to his credit, he owned it. And some of the play calling on both those drives in the last 2 minutes of the game, it was, Neil, I'll use the same line that I used to you talking the other day. It's like when you talk to your kids and you're like, don't get angry, don't get angry. So what I would do is I would go like this. I'd go, what were you hoping to accomplish? And that's the way I felt the play calling was in the last 2 minutes of the game. It's like, what were you trying to do here? So, again, these guys aren't perfect. Mistakes aren't going to be made. They weren't going 17-0. Big, deep breath. And I'll say it again today. Should they lose today, I'm still not going to be in that position yet. I'm not ready to rant and rave and, here we go again or anything like that. But I want to win today, and I think they can win.
No, absolutely. Woodward Sports chat thread. Matt N. Ben seems to be consistently off his game in the second half of games. I heard her. The JMO Bus people are so lame. He loves Detroit, loves football, has elite attributes. He's had hurdles to putting it together in the NFL, but he can be a game changer, and we are seeing it now. Freddie Felt, big ass energy. That's fair.
Shout out Freddie, man.
I'm down.
There you go.
That's what you need that baby oil for.
We're not doing this. I'll do this one, and that's it. Yazin says free Diddy.
No, that's not free Diddy.
He also probably said that Jameson Williams was a bust.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably the same type of people,
Anybody that buys that amount of baby oil, get them off the streets.
A tour says Kyler's playing 30% above the sustainability rate. He crashes back to earth today with 2.5 double stuff from Hutch and 4 to 5 total from the defense. There is something, Sean.
They've given up 5 in 2 games now.
My power stat, though, for real, I think the Cardinals, and feel free to fact check me on this, Cardinals are 58% on third down this year. 58, that is wholly not sustainable.
Yeah.
That's like when you go to a Tigers game opening series weekend and a guy went 3 for 5 in day one and he's hitting 600 up there on the score. You know what I'm saying? That's what that equates to me. That is something that cannot sustain. That will come down. The regression will be to the mean.
You mean if Lucas Raymond scores a hat trick in the first game of the Red Wings season, are you
240 goals? Loaded.
He's not on the pace for 250 goals?
Yes.
No, I find that hard to believe.
You're pretty good there, Neil. 58.3%.
All right.
Right. I mean, so
number one in the NFL.
Yes, they are
by far.
By far.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to repeat what I said at the beginning of the show, though. I think the difference between this Cardinal team and certainly last year is they've got some cutesy little weapons around them. Have we even mentioned his name yet? I'm not sure.
Marvin Harrison?
You got it. Have we even mentioned his name yet?
Not really, but
he's a stud.
He is.
He's a stud, okay? And I know you hate Ohio State, and I know Ryan Day is soft. I know, okay, let's play that game, play all the hits. Marvin Harrison's a flat-out stud. That is a dangerous guy, and when you put a guy out there on the field, all of a sudden, all those other components that you talked about, whether Dortch goes, whether it be the running backs, and they've got a couple of them, all of a sudden, those guys become a little bit more dangerous because you have to account for a guy who's a flat-out stud. And by the way, rookie wide receiver and a rookie quarterback are two different things. He's still going to do rookie dumb things, but this is also a guy who's a game changer, man. I think he's got the potential to be a flat out one of the best in the league type of wide receivers.
No, absolutely. Let's do this. Let's take the break. When we come back, Pete Spivak's in the building. He'll give you his Pete's Parlay picks. He'll give you some fantasy stuff that's going on as well. Sean Belizian and I will be about that action. We'll lay down our I got two games that I'm digging my heels in on.
Okay.
I've teased it here throughout the show, but this is the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show. Neil Rule, Sean Belizian. Let me tell you about Sabbath Coffee. Shout out to them as well. One of the presenters here of our pregame show, and you can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for the big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters have you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee, and it can be delivered right to your door. Go to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use the promo code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
All right, back at it, everybody. Lions pregame show. Neil Rule, Sean Belizian. We have KG. We have Pete Spivak. We have JB Smoove, the legend. Chase is in here hanging out. Had to buy him coffee today. Thanks, Michigan, for losing to Texas like that. But, you know, I believed in you. Well, I believed in you twice. And you came through once. Believed in you more than your own fans did. Just remember that, everybody.
For good reason.
For good. You're back. Woodward Sports chat there. Chuck Brewer, just kind of wrapping up the discussion. Saw a tweet this morning. J-Mo was at a high school football game Friday night. Love how he has embraced this city. He stays in the city, man.
Which game was he at?
I don't know. I didn't hear.
Shout out J-Mo.
I was at Cass Tech King. Man, if you haven't been yet, go. What a cool atmosphere. One of the best rivalries in the state. Just a good vibe out there, man, at Cass Tech. It really was.
No, absolutely. All right, everybody. It is time to go to our guy, of course. Pete Spivak is here. Pete's prop parlays, Pete's fantasy, stardom, sit-em, all that kind of stuff. Just real quick, he brings us up to date with everything that is going on. We'll give our picks coming up in just a couple minutes as well, and we'll go to the Lions Wayback Machine. Lions-Cardinals Wayback Machine. Pete Spivak?
Yes, sir.
What do you got for us?
Ready to go?
Make the people some money today.
Let's start with the fantasy there, JB, and playing the open. Sorry, my man. I don't want to step on the open.
But you did too late. Go ahead.
I always forget there's an open. My heaven's sakes.
You should know that, being on Ermanni and Edwards all the time.
I'm not.
You know they get all the toys.
He don't get that treatment on Ermanni and Edwards.
Actually having an on-air role, so I'm not used to having open. So
I didn't say that.
Much thanks to JB, by the way. So let's start with the fantasy look out here, guys. I did change up everything that we did last time. It was a little bit too long with the I was giving like top 10 players of each position. So what I came up with today. For your flex positions, in case you guys need help making your lineup, you got injury issues or whatever, I came up with what I think are the top 11 options in no particular order for a good flex spot. We're going to start with a guy who's really been struggling here, and that is Amari Cooper. Now, you would have Amari Cooper anyway as like a number one overall pick, or a number one receiver in your lineup, but he's been struggling this year, so you may be a little skeptical putting him in. I think he gets
So don't give up on him.
Don't give up on him. Today's the day.
All
He
right.
makes you proud. Alec Pierce. Let's not forget about
Picked him
Alec
up last
Pierce
week.
Out of the Colts, man. I'm telling you, Alec Pierce is getting the ball for the Colts. He will be busy
but they're
today.
playing that Bears
They're
defense
playing that
today.
Bears defense.
Can't move on Bears.
He's going in at least once today, and he'll have yards
Against the
that
Bears
defense. Yes, you got it, my friend.
Wow.
Well, they're going to have to keep throwing because Caleb Williams is going to light it up.
That's right, baby. Now, we're going to move on to Jake Ferguson. He's back healthy. I think that he is going to be a top target today for Dallas in their game. And also, we forgot to mention that I think Dallas is going to win that game because of the referees in Jerry's world. We all know how that goes.
Yeah, but the Ravens go to 0. I'm fascinated to watch this game.
I'm
with you.
Because I want to see how the referees
During the
are called.
commercials of the Lions.
Yep.
game.
I want to see. Now, we can't forget Juwan Jennings. Guys, Juwan Jennings is trying so hard to become a number 2 on somebody's team. I think Juwan Jennings today, with Deebo Samuel being out, will definitely get some hardcore work. Yes, you know. I know. I'm not even going to mention number 5.
No, you are.
But he did have a good week last week. After I got chastised and criticized.
No, he had
a good freaking
breakout
week last week. If
He
there's
did.
anybody that Mayonnaise Hayes is going to throw to, it's going to be number 0. Josh Reynolds.
Calvin Ridley.
I know.
Everybody in
Don't
your
sleep.
fantasy league is taking a turn with Calvin Ridley.
I'm just letting you know the guy's going to score points.
This will be the year. This will be the year.
He put up between
Mayonnaise
18 and
Hayes
20
has to hit
points
somebody.
last week. So
Anyway, Josh Reynolds, guys, he is doing spectacular work there in Denver.
He's
Maybe the
solid.
Lions might miss this guy. So Josh Reynolds will definitely be busy today. He might even throw a touchdown. DeAndre Swift will be the only Bear that will do anything positive today because Caleb Williams ain't going to do anything positive. DeAndre Swift will score today. He will have a good day. I like Michael Wilson for the Arizona Cardinals. I think he will have more than his usual 2 receptions today. Again, Wilson and Greg Dortch combined so far 14 targets for both of them so far in 2 weeks, 13 of 14. These guys catch balls. Demarcus Robinson of the LA Rams, they need a good pass catcher. He's a big body. He's going to get work today with no Cooper Kupp. Chuba Hubbard. I hate to use a Carolina Panther, but if there's anybody that's going to score today for Carolina, I think Chuba Hubbard gets a lot of work today on the ground. And then Dallas Goedert, tight end for Philadelphia. He's going to get off the schneid today. So those are my fantasy picks.
All
If
right.
you need help in your fantasy lineup.
No, absolutely. Appreciate it.
Parlay.
You got anything?
Got a parlay.
Oh, all right. We got a Pete's Picks parlay.
I like this.
You got to get off the schneid,
by
Pete.
me. I like this one.
This one
I
has
do
been
too.
pre-approved by Sean Belize.
I like this
All
one.
lines are brought to you courtesy of Caesar
Yeah, I was
Sportsbook,
gonna
the
say,
official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
That is absolutely correct. Do we have
God, I
a
love
screenshot,
having them on
JB?
board.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Thank you, my friend. So this will be a plus 1,400
Oh.
4-leg parlay through courtesy of our friends at Caesar Sportsbook. Jameson Williams, he's getting in the end zone today,
Okay.
guys. If there's going to be a touchdown scored by the Lions, if it's only one, it's going to be number 9. I really have to say that Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm shocked that plus 60 yards is a plus 100 bet on Caesars
Straight
today.
up, wow.
Straight up. So that is part of the parlay. I think Marvin Harrison is definitely good for over 60 yards in the air. Kyler Murray, 40 yards rushing on the ground today. In 2 games, he has been over 50 yards rushing in both the games so far that he has started. And then I really think that Trey McBride is going to get work today. 5 receptions for tight end Trey McBride for the Arizona Cardinals. Again, this is a 4-leg parlay. Plus 1,400. My $15 bet can win you $210.
So there it is, everybody.
I like that one. Can I go back to Josh Reynolds for just a second?
Yeah, isn't it great?
You can do whatever
Okay.
you want, Sean.
No, but
you're on the graphic too.
Hear me out. Rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
All right. Here's they give and they take. he has targeted his 2 top receivers, Bo Nix, like a gazillion times.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get his numbers. I'm not saying he's going to get his touchdown, but you know what? Rookie quarterbacks, this just in, they lock in on whether it be Reynolds or whether it be Sutton, and I think there's some validity to that. But this also goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. What? A rookie quarterback comes in the league and sucks? When? He's been awful. He really has been, much like Caleb Williams. Now, he's thrown more than, 66 feet?
Yep.
He's thrown more than 66 feet, but he also has 4 interceptions already on the season. Rookie quarterbacks struggle, but remember that in fantasy. I think that's good logic because they lock in on the guys that find a way to get open, and especially if you're in a PPR league, I think that could be beneficial to you.
And you saw that Josh Reynolds, if Bo Nix can't throw the ball, then Josh Reynolds is going to throw the ball. He is their, he's their weapon.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's their Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right.
So there it is. All right. Courtesy, again, of Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. JB Smoove.
What's up?
We about to be about that action?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Let's get into it.
Don't. Don't know what happened.
Did we freeze?
Got a glitch in the matrix.
Little freeze there.
Freeze. I don't know what happened.
All right. Take the red pill.
This open is so dope, too, man. Like, that crushes my soul.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened here. Let's try this again.
All right. We about that action, JB?
Let's hope.
I think we're about that action.
I feel his pain back
All right,
there.
well, whatever.
Yeah,
We're about that action, Sean. Trust me. Hey, tune in next week, everybody.
Right.
It's a great open. It is. Trust me. JB Smoove is a GOAT. Sean, what do you got for me, man? You look around the league, and we took care of you last week. I was big on the Chargers last week. That was a walkover.
Yeah.
An absolute walkover. What do you got, Sean?
I didn't. I was somebody, I thought that the Ravens were going to make the Raiders pay. And it was the Raiders that somehow, some way came back in the crunch time. I refuse to accept that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to fall to 0-3 at home. We've seen the Bengals start 0-2, and then all of a sudden it magically changes. And when they blow big. I think they're going to pound the Commanders. I would have no problem going with the heavy favorite again. I know it didn't work for me last week, but I think it's going to work for me the late Monday night game. Don't forget 2 Monday night games this week, but I think the Bengals are going to pound the Commanders.
So there it is. And again, courtesy of Caesar Sportsbook, I have something for you guys that I'm very big on. Like we've talked about it. By the way, the Bengals -7.5, -105. So you get a little bit of a break on the juice there. Bengals over the Commanders, according to Sean Belizean, about that action. For me, it's 2 of them. And here's the deal: the Minnesota Vikings are not a good football team. I know they're 2-0.
It's got to end.
And I know
eventually.
you are what your record says you are in this league. I get that. I understand that. I will take the Texans -2 all day long. But wait, there's more. If you order right now, the Indianapolis Colts against Chicago Bears. Colts are -1.5. Their season is on the brink. They're 0-2. They're playing against a rookie quarterback who has not thrown a touchdown pass, that has 800 feet passing this year. 800 feet. You can't even run around a track with that. It's a spot game, everybody. Both of these are classic NFL spot games. And here's how I would break this down. I would go heavy in the streets on both of them individually, and I'd sprinkle a little on them together at +264. That's the Texans -2, the Colts -1.5. That's +264 as a parlay, courtesy of Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. And Sean, again, I'm standing on business with. There is no way, and here's the deal, guys. Take them both individually, and feel free to go hard in the paint if you want to. Go very, very little on the parlay. You will not lose both of these games. In no way, shape, or form will you lose both of these games, and you'll probably win both of them more than you'll lose both of them.
I can't imagine, Neil. I'm with you. I can't imagine you losing that.
Like they say. I know a lot of people say sometimes you take 2 games, that's a losing proposition over the long run. Not this spot. Not this spot.
No, I don't think so as well. And you know what? Can I keep talking about rookie quarterbacks, man? Whether it be Jaden in Washington or Bo Nix or, of course, Caleb. Listen, Caleb's going to get the hatred for two reasons. Number one, the hype train that started. Let's be honest. It was real. It was the bump from Hard Knocks. And number two, fuck the Bears. So, regardless, guys like us, we're going to look to detract from him. But, man, he's made it so easy. So, Neil, I'm with you. I'm about that action.
Can I throw one out there just to kind of keep
can.
your eye on, as you would say, if you don't want to bet it, that's on y'all. But the LA Chargers plus 2.5 to the Steelers on the road. If the Chargers win this game, they will win by more than a field goal. And I'm looking at the Steelers offense, and they kind of remind me of the Michigan offense. It's worked to their credit so far, so good. But how many times you going to keep trying Justin Fields out there, and that offense continues to roll? So I would watch that one because, like I said, I believe that if the Chargers do win this game, it will be by more than a field goal. They have more going.
And Russell Wilson is out today officially.
Yes, he is out.
Was he ever in?
I know, but I'm just it's official.
Was he ever in?
No.
God, no.
Russell Wilson,
God, no.
real quick.
You know what? Get your shit off. Get your shit off.
Dangerous. Here's some advice, dude. And you don't need it from me. I'm just a guy with a microphone. But if you do hear this, my friend, just take it and think about it. That's all I'm asking. Look in the mirror. Russ, do yourself a favor. You had a great career. Hang it up. Hang it up. Walk. Why are you doing this to your legacy? You already started it, doing lunges on the team, playing with Denver, going over to Europe to play the game. You're doing lunges in the aisleway. People are looking around going, what the hell is it with this guy? Russ, you had a good career. Hang it up. Why are you doing it? You are Joe Namath with the Rams right now. You're Emmitt Smith with the Cowboys.
When it starts to go, it doesn't come back. Even at his age, you've seen other guys, older quarterbacks. Like I remember a couple of years ago when I was doing the show with Joik here, and Joik didn't like to hear it because Drew Brees was his boy. It was over. Drew couldn't throw anymore.
Yeah.
Right. You remember that at the end of his career?
It was horrible. Those last 2 years were
and then
brutal.
the funny thing is, about a year after he retired, he came out and said, hey, guys, I have a confession to make. I couldn't throw anymore. No! We didn't see that, Drew. Roethlisberger. Do you remember?
Yes.
His arm died.
He literally died.
It died.
He was bad for like 5 years.
So
the last 5.
I know, it was sad to watch. But Russ, God bless you, man. I'm not sure you ever got the due that you deserved. You were pretty dangerous at one point in time, but it's over. The curtain closed. Best of luck to you, man.
He's got Sierra waiting for him at home.
There's nothing
Spend
wrong
some
with
time
that,
with her.
right?
How can you not want to spend time
And
with
she's
her?
got some goodies waiting for him, too.
Right. No pun intended.
Wife, man.
Or very pun intended.
I was very I was kind of happy with myself. I'm glad you got that,
I caught
KG.
it.
I need some extra cuddle
Very
time
punny.
with her, man.
No, absolutely. Woodward Sports chat thread, by the way. 14 Grit. Yeah, Russell, give up millions of dollars. What are you thinking? Ha ha. 14 Grit, he's playing for free right now.
Right.
Yeah, his money was guaranteed. Like I know a lot of people don't understand the financials.
Yeah.
His money is guaranteed from Denver. He is literally playing for free.
Yeah.
The money he got paid by the Steelers was taken out of the money that the Broncos owe him.
Mm-hmm.
If he stayed out, if he would have retired, he would have still got the money he's getting from the Steelers. He just would have got it from the Broncos.
It is,
Yep.
Neil,
It's stupid that he's playing
Right.
and doing this to himself.
it is one of the most misunderstood things to this day. Whenever I hear contracts announced, okay, 10 years, $525 million. Right. Okay, you know what? Read the fine print. What's guaranteed? The guaranteed money is the most important part. What is guaranteed? The rest of it is just noise. That's guaranteed money. Props to him. Go find the cookie jar, the snack jar, whatever the case may be. You don't need to do this to yourself.
14 Grit, Neil, you have no respect for the money. Neil is above the millions. 14 Grit, you have no understanding of how the financial game of the NFL works.
Right.
He's literally playing for free.
He's playing for free.
Poorly.
Right.
It's embarrassing.
Well, he hasn't hit the field yet.
Poorly, but free.
And stop with the Jerry curl, too, by the way.
Stop
All right,
with
you're
the
not
Jerry
Easy
curl.
This isn't straight out of Compton. Come on.
Oh my God.
Get the soul glow out of there and let's move on.
Cruising down the street in my
He's going to come out and start singing the greatest love of all and stuff. You know,
Like, what are we doing?
He believes in himself, no matter how much Neil.
His hair is a cross. And I'm sorry to do this, but it's true. It's like a cross between Eazy-E and El DeBarge. Like that's his hair.
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit.
JB.
Hey, you're factual on it.
Thank you. That's all I was looking for, JB.
It's factual.
It's not hate.
Get your shit on.
It's not an insult.
It's a little hate.
It's what
there.
it is.
It's a little hate in there.
JB, is it factual, KG?
It is.
Does he look like Eazy-E and El DeBarge?
I let you get your shit off on everything. The only thing I will ever push back on it, he wasn't the sole reason it went bad in Denver. He
was the sole guy that did lunges in the aisle of the airplane.
Absolutely.
The team airplane.
Absolutely. But that was on the Broncos. It wasn't all on him.
That's right.
You hired Nathaniel Hackett to chase Aaron Rodgers, and you fucked yourself.
Yep.
So
yep.
You
Broncos Nation.
Play
That's
stupid
right.
games, win stupid prizes.
Damon Dice. Damn, Neil, have some mercy. I didn't do that to his hair. He did. He did it. Kiazi. Neil's flexing his black card. It's just hilarious. I'm not.
He ain't got it yet. We still working on it.
All right.
I
Low
made
key,
some calls.
does that help it or hurt it? That right there. That helps, right?
It helps
Thank
because
you.
we're not fully claiming Russell. I mean, let's just be real here.
You know what? He kept it real.
Yeah.
That's a bonus. That's when you go before the judges, that's one of the questions. Did you keep it real? Holy shit, he kept it real.
He did.
You kept it real.
You even got Braylon in the chat saying we cut up, man. Shout out Braylon, man. Yes, I go home sometimes. I do. Sometimes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He's doing damage to the legacy. All right, before we ride out, I do want to. You ready to go in the Wayback Machine?
Yeah, let's do
it.
it.
Lions, Cardinals throwback. We do this. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it. It's just we take a look at a past matchup that these two teams play. I try to go off like not just what's so obvious all the time. Sean, you thought I missed one with the Bobby Ross thing. I did. I wanted to keep it positive. Let's take it back, everybody, to Lions Cardinals. In 1989, the Pontiac Silverdome.
So good.
Barry Sanders' first game.
So good.
And look, back on September 10th, 1989. Sean, little did we know what we were watching that day. Certainly he came in and was celebrated. And Barry Sanders, his very first carry from second one, he was Barry Sanders, man.
You cannot put a price tag on the impact he made to this franchise in day one. I'm convinced enough is not talked about it. And what I mean by that is this. There have been very few times in this franchise history in our life that fans had enough, okay? The 1988 season, I'm here to tell you, fans had enough. They stopped going to games. There was no reason to go. And Barry Sanders came in, and all of a sudden, regardless of a bad football team, and they were still a bad football team in 1989, you had a reason to go. This was a guy that was going to bring you out of your seat, game in, game out. And I will maintain this forever and ever. He absolutely, positively brought in an extra 40,000 people a week in the 1989 season alone. Because trust me when I say this, I went to a few of those games as a kid. Nobody was going to those games in 88. There was no reason to go.
There was nobody at that game.
Barry Sanders gave you a reason. Barry Sanders gave you. That changed, though. Trust me, that changed that year. I still remember the Thanksgiving Day game. Sorry to go in the Wayback Machine. Browns-Lions was electric. It was the first time I remembered the Silverdome going, okay, this is like a National Football League crowd. This is pretty stinking cool. And the Browns had Eric Metcalf, and of course, being the delusional Browns fans that they've always been and always will be, they tried to tell everybody that Eric Metcalf was better than Barry Sanders. How'd that work out?
Right. No, absolutely. I remember seeing a quote from Wayne Fonts, and he was talking about the game, and he said, we weren't doing a lot. The Lions did lose that game 16-13. Barry didn't play in the first half because he signed late. He didn't have any training camp. He just walked in, and Font said, we weren't doing anything offensively. So I went over to Barry Sanders, and I said, Barry, do you want to play? And he's sitting there on the bench, like Barry, just literally just sitting there on the bench in the third quarter. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll play. And then they bring him in, and he does that run. He finished up with 9 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown in in a half of and immediately, everything changed.
It was amazing.
So shout out to Barry. Anytime I can do a Barry appreciation post and it fits, I'm going to do it, man, because the greatest running back to ever play the game of football.
Facts.
I stand on that.
Facts.
When you give him the football, he is the hardest person ever to tackle. Therefore, he is the best running back in the history of football. I keep things simple, man. Tell me the flaw in the logic.
I'm not arguing that, and especially now when you look at the shelf life of some of these guys being what it is. Because I'll tell you what, there was a few years there, and I know some people are going to take this as slander, and I don't give two shits. Man, LaDainian Tomlinson for a few years there.
Was amazing.
I was going, oh my gosh.
You don't want to hear my thoughts.
You don't like LT?
What?
I thought LaDainian. Now, again, it's about shelf life. These guys today don't have that shelf life. I'll take his first few years and go, that guy was an absolute weapon, whether it be out of the backfield as a receiver, whether it be throwing the ball. But all those hits in this league today, man, the LaDainian Tomlinson you saw in those first few years and the LaDainian Tomlinson we saw in those last few years
with the Jets
were two entirely different things. But, man, in his prime, LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the best I've ever seen. One of the best I've ever seen.
And there's one more thing I'm going to get to with the game, but real quick, kind of wrapping that thing up. Like, we were talking about Russell Wilson, like, seriously. And you brought up LaDainian Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson with the Jets was a tough watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Emmitt Smith with the Cardinals was a tough watch. That's why anyone ever to this day, and there are still some of you out there, you won't do it now, like you won't come out in public now because, you'll get lynched. For me, Barry walked away when he wanted to walk away. He was still at the top of his craft, and guess what? That's fine.
That's the difference.
I didn't have to watch Barry Sanders playing for the Miami Dolphins.
That's the difference.
40 years old.
That's the difference.
To me, Sean, that does something to a player's legacy. For me, when you walk away and you're not Emmitt Smith with the Cardinals, I have no choice but to clown Emmitt Smith because of that. LaDainian Tomlinson because of that. I have no choice. I will clown Russell. Like, this is Russell Wilson's legacy now. You destroyed the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
You're playing for free for the Steelers
not totally, but.
And not playing.
See, that's the difference between some guys, though, because it didn't hurt Joe Montana when he went to Kansas City. Was he the same Joe Montana? No. Was he going to win a Super Bowl? No. But he was still a pretty close facsimile to Joe Montana. I'll use Tom Brady. A lot of people thought, oh, Tom, what are you doing, Tom Brady? Dude added to his legacy.
100%.
Added to his legacy. And so that's the difference. I think the running back position is a little bit different, though, man. When you take that one hit too many, I saw too many. Sean Alexander. Remember how dynamic he was?
Yeah.
Priest, Holmes, LaDainian Tomlinson. That was that era of you had some wow factor guys. But that's the difference between those guys and a guy like Barry. Barry was still Barry at the end. You saw LT go like that. You saw Alexander go like that. You saw Priest Holmes go like that. But, man, those first few years, I thought if anybody's going to put a run into it, I thought it was Tomlinson. He was dynamic.
I'm sorry, real quick. I just wanted to add one thing real quick, which I never thought I would say on the Lions pregame show. In regards to the Barry Sanders discussion, thank you, Green Bay Packers, for taking Tony Mandarich.
Right.
Because after,
you know what, though? How could you not?
How could you not? But still,
Jesus, that man.
I hear you, but you know what? This is the only time I'll thank the Green Bay Packers on the Lions show.
You know what people also forget, and if somebody wants to call me a Spartan Slappy here, go right ahead. It didn't work in Green Bay. But he went to the Colts, and he was a pretty damn good lineman.
No one remembers though.
And if you don't believe me, ask Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Like Peyton Manning has said that.
Him.
Pretty good player with the Colts. Everybody kind of forgets
about that. No doubt. Woodward Sports chat thread, Slappy313. Hello, Neil. Hello, Slappy313. Real quick, and I'm probably not doing this justice because we're coming to the end of the show. Drew, did you all touch on Terrion Arnold? Are y'all concerned about his performance so far? He's been really bad.
No,
we did touch on it.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm not worried about it yet. Sorry, I'm not.
No, Drew,
not.
I broke this down last week on Big D Energy. 11-1, by the way, Monday through Friday. Myself and my friend tomorrow. We'll have the Lions reaction, all of it. We'll get into some college football because Sean's there. Why do you look at me like that when I say we're going to get into the college football?
I was looking at you the same way when you started your sentence. I'm just watching you. That's it. I'm engaged.
We good?
I'm
we
engaged.
Ain't good, but we're real good.
We're not good right now.
Never apologize for a win. I'm sorry. Never.
Thank
Never.
you.
All right. That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, but the Terry Arnold thing. And, Drew, I kind of broke this down, man, where he has been thrown to the wolves immediately.
Yes.
And if you want to debate it, if you want to say he's been really bad. Now, Drew, I'll play devil's advocate for a moment. He got dinged with the flag that you can't get dinged with because it resulted in points. It was a direct 3-point penalty. That's what it was. And you were lucky that it was a 3-point penalty. I'll get with you on that. You can't have it. You can't have that. But, Drew, I will say this. He's been thrown to the wolves immediately. Here's what I do know about Terry Arnold. You can check the he ain't Jeff Okudah off the box. You know, number one?
Instantly.
Is he Jeff Okudah? No.
Not at all.
Let's go to number 2. Can he play? I think he's checked that. Yes, he can play.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, is he good? That's the work in. We have checks in the column with Terry Arnold. That's the Terry Arnold today is not the Terry Arnold in the preseason. It won't be the Terry Arnold October 5th, November 5th, December 5th, January 5th, hopefully February 5th. He will continue to evolve. I stand on that.
I am going to sound like condescending here when I say this, but again, guys, are you new to the National Football League? There are undeniable truths to me, with very small exceptions. Rookie cornerbacks are going to struggle.
Yep.
They're on an island. They're going to struggle. Rookie quarterbacks are going to struggle. Stop. I'm going to stop you right now. I'm not saying that is a 100% hard and fast rule. What I am saying is, for every exception you bring up, I can bring you 10 different examples, okay? And, Neil, what I want to see is what this guy looks like. What's today's date? September 22nd?
22nd.
Yeah.
What does he look like October 22nd?
First day of fall.
What does he look like? What does he look like at Thanksgiving? What does he look like in Week 17? We'll have those conversations accordingly. But to do the hard and fast pass-fail right now at his career, I categorically deny that.
And he hasn't been bad. If you really watch the tape, yes, the penalties, you can't have that, but all the mistakes that he makes you can easily clean those up. He's not out here getting cooked. The coverage is there. If you watch the tape, the coverage is there. So
Baseline. He's not Jeff Okudah.
Exactly. So
that's number 1.
Where's
number
the
2,
Bobby
he can
Ross
play.
chart?
Yeah,
the chart.
He can play.
Get the chart. Get the Bobby Ross
Let's get the
chart.
chart.
Man, I was trying to get through all that. All right, guys, real quick before we ride out, I know we're running a little long, man, but a lot of you are tapping into the show. So, again, thank you guys. You guys, tens of thousands of you watch our NFL game day Sundays. Somebody asked, where are those Spenny? Spenny's on the watch party. They'll be live at Hayes Social over there in Shelby. You can come out. Spenny said he'll buy your first beer. So if you want to I'm going over there and getting one. You best believe I'm doing that. I may sit in for the second quarter. We'll see. I'm on these taller drinks right now from New Holland Brewing. Sean, how's this playing out today?
I think the Lions are going to win by a field goal. I do. I don't think they lose 2 games in a row. I don't think it's going to be as easy as maybe some people are making it out to be. How about 31-28? I think Kyler Murray's going to cause some problems. I do. I think Kyler Murray's going to cause some problems. I'm not being a homer. Lions 31-28. What are you guys feeling?
Lions offense back on track. Lions 24, Cardinals 20.
So third consecutive. Oh, real quick. If that comes true and they hold a third team to 20 points or less in a row, we might have something with this defense.
I'm telling you, if y'all been watching, this defense has played very well.
All right, what do you got, Pete?
I agree. Sean said it. I said 31-28 on E&E on Friday, so I'm going to stick with it. 31-28 Lions.
Chase, give it to me. Just tell me, and I'll relay it to the people. What do you got? Lions? 27-20? 27-21. All right, you think the defense sucks. Okay, cool. Got
They're right.
All right, JB Smooth, what do you got?
I got to lean with Sean on this one as well. I think the Lions ease this one out with the field goal, but it's going to be a rough day.
Yep, I agree. This is not going to be an easy one, Neil. All right, now here you go.
So I think the offense is going to crack 30. Like
okay.
They're due for it. They're due for
okay.
Here's the deal.
I'm liking it
because originally, like I've talked about it, right? Like you play this road game in the NFL where they drive Mercedes too, and it's hard to win, on the road in this league.
Yeah.
With that being said, the Cardinals are not a 58% on third down team.
No, sir.
Right.
They're not. That will not continue.
Yeah.
The Lions, consequently, are not a we score once every 7 times we get in the red zone team
Exactly,
either.
right.
I think you're going to see regression to the mean on both fronts.
Yeah.
So, and this is I know this is aggressive to say. I know it is. 31-21, but not like 31-21 as in it was like 31-10.
Right. I get what you mean.
saying?
I get what you mean.
Right.
Like
A competitive
31-21 like it was, like it was 24-21 and they held the ball at the end and
Late
got a touchdown.
touchdown,
You know what I'm
maybe.
saying?
Or
Like
even
that,
tacked
yeah.
on the insurance
The field goal
or something like that.
they're
Yeah.
upset.
I get you.
Like something
I don't think
like
it's
that.
going to be an easy game.
No, not at
I'm
all.
not going
Not at
full
all.
slapdick at all. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I'm going to repeat what I said at the very beginning, okay? My jaw's not going to drop if the Cardinals win this game.
No,
It's
not at all.
It's not
Not
gonna
at all.
drop.
That's a
But
good team.
Neil, like you said, this game lives and dies on their ability to stop Kyler Murray when plays break down.
That's right.
Just flat out. If he goes over 60, 70 yards rushing, you probably lost.
Contain. That's the word of the day.
That's the
Keep
name
that
of the
offense
game.
off the field by running the ball.
All right, so there it is, everybody. Hey, we appreciate you tapping into the Woodward Sports pregame show brought to you by New Holland Brewing and, of course, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey Sabbath Coffee Roasters as well. And all of you that tap in, as we said, the tens of thousands of you that consume Lions Game Day, thank you. We believe we're doing this better, contrary to what one of you said in the chat. We believe we're doing this better than anybody in this town, and I stand on that, and how could it not? You got guys like Sean Belizean, JB Smoove, KG, Pete Spivak, like these are vets in this game, man. They know how to break it down, everybody. So for Sean Belizean, KG, Pete Spivak, our guy Chase, and of course JB Smoove, I'm Neil Rule. Lions Cardinals, 425, 415,
425.
Stupid ass time difference.
I know. I hate it.
Thanks for tapping in, everybody. Well, see you later.
Forward down the field, baby.